I found this book, The Shade of the Moon by Susan Beth Pfeffer, and I thought the cover looked really interesting. It looks like it's the moon or some giant planet that's awfully close to what I think may be the planet Earth. And it looks like the planet Earth is having some problems. I see smoke and fire, a lot of fire. So I'm going to apply the 45-second rule to this. It'll take me a little longer than 45 seconds to explain my thought processes, but this is what you need to do before checking out a library book. Ultimately, you need to have 3 good reasons for picking a book and checking it out, and one of the reasons cannot be, I like the cover. Alright, on my handout, first I need to know, is this book in a series? Well, this says on the bottom of the cover that she's a best-selling author of Life as We Knew It series. And I don't know if this book is in that series or not. So I still don't really know. I don't see a number on this. A lot of times series books will have a number. I'm going to look at the back cover now. I don't see a number here anywhere on the spine of the book. And on this back of the book, I'm supposed to be looking for descriptive words or a summary. If I look down to number 5 on my handout, I'm supposed to be looking for a testimonial by someone or a review of the book. Well, I do see a ton of reviews. These are really good reviews. This is a dark and scary novel. You'll read it in one sitting. This sounds awfully good, but it's a trick that publishing companies use all the time. These reviews are not for this book. These reviews are for 3 other books, Life as We Knew It, The Dead and the Gone, This World We Live In. They're not even reviewing the book that you're holding in your hands. So, I need to look at the inside back flap. I'm lucky enough to have one, and here I can see pictures of 3 books in this series. The covers are similar to the book I'm holding in my hands, and so I suspect that my book is one of the books in the series. If I read this out loud to you, you would learn that the series has won awards and it's very well known. If I flip backwards through this book, I can see that I have many summaries of the books that came before this one. If I open up the inside front flap, which I'm lucky enough to have one, I can read even more about the book, and I get basically a summary. A lot of our library books, though, don't have this. They don't have a flap, and so you don't get that summary. If you can't get a summary here, where can you go for a summary? Well, I recommend that you go to, take a look at number 7 on your handout. Locate the copyright page. Do you find a summary there? Well, I'm looking for the copyright page. Oh, but look what I just found across from the title page. Other books in this series. Life as We Knew It, The Dead and the Gone, This World We Live In. I suspect The Shade of the Moon is book number 4 in the series. The tiny little words, that's the copyright page, and I want everyone to find theirs today in the book that you're holding in your hands. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, and on the copyright page, if I scroll down towards the bottom, I find this is a sequel, and I find a summary of the book. John Evans is one of the lucky ones until he realizes that escaping his safe haven may be the only way to truly survive. I learned that this book is about natural disasters, interpersonal relations, which could be friendships, or usually it means boyfriend-girlfriend relationships. Social classes, family life, Tennessee. I learned the setting. Tennessee is in the United States of America. It's a state. And science fiction. Ta-da! That tells me the genre of this book. So this appears to be a sci-fi book. If I look at the handout, it does tell me to read some pages in this book. Number 9 asks me to look for pictures. And do the pictures bother you? Because some kids don't want to read a book that has pictures and others do. Well, if I just start flipping through this book, I don't see pictures. And that's fine with me. I could care less. I don't really care one way or another if there are pictures. The font, is it comfortable to read? Yeah, this is good for me. I can read it, no problem. It looks like an attractive book. Do I like the look of the book? Yeah, it's fine. Doesn't bother me at all. Does this first page grab me? Well, I have read it, and it sounds very interesting so far. It asks me then in number 11 to open up a page in the middle of the book. So if I go to a page in the middle of the book, I then need to start reading and apply my 5-finger rule. If I find more than 4 or 5 words on these 2 pages that I do not understand, this book is going to be a challenge for me. So the 5-finger rule can help you figure out. You count every time you run into a word you don't know, you put down a finger on your hand. If you hit 4 or 5 fingers, you know that this book will be a challenge. And that's fine, but as long as you know it's not going to be light and easy reading. Let's look at the bottom of your handout. By the time you've done all the things that we've just talked about, you should be able to name the genre, which I can do, the setting, I believe it's science fiction, I believe the setting is Tennessee, and it seems to be in sort of modern day because I've been reading it and I've gotten an idea of what the book is about. I have a basic idea of what this book is as far as the summary goes, and I can decide that this is not a good book for me. Why? Because I want to start with the very first in the series. In fact, I was lucky enough to discover that in Mac and Via we have this book as an ebook, and it is the first book in the series, and that's the book I'm going to start with. Now, boys and girls, it is your turn to apply the 45-second rule.